Good afternoon, traders. Hope you guys are all having a great weekend so far. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a quick price action review of the Magnificent Seven, the major indexes, and the stocks that I'm watching set up this week. And I just want to give a quick word of motivation to you guys. I just want you guys to remember that you are one good trade from a completely different life, and that all of you guys who are here and who are really trying, putting in the work, improving just 1% every single day, you guys are going to be the next. All of you guys are capable of being the next Paul Tudor Jones. All of you guys are capable of being the next Richard Dennis. All of you guys are capable of becoming one of the best traders that Wall Street has ever seen. It's all about becoming better, taking steps in the right direction every single day. Paul Tudor Jones didn't get to the top just overnight. It took years and years of work, and in the beginning, he absolutely sucked. But he built up consistency, discipline, and honed in what he was really good at. And that's exactly what you guys need to do and focus on. And if you guys are about that, please like, subscribe, comment. It's greatly appreciated. I'm going to be leaving a free link in the comments for a Discord if you guys want to join the trading community. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, the big levels I'm going to be watching on the Mag 7. So, I believe next week, let me see here. So, hold on 1 second. Let me just bring up a new window. Alright. So, let me just go over to Market Watch and check what we got for news next week. So, I honestly have no idea. I believe that we have FOMC. Let me just double check. So we got job openings Monday, consumer confidence Wednesday. All right, yeah, we do have FOMC. Plus, we have Apple earnings, Microsoft earnings. So it's going to be an interesting week. Personally, I'm taking more of a risk-off approach in my trading. But what I'm going to be really focusing on is just to see how the banks end up buying up Apple, if they sell off Apple, what do they do with the Mag 7 overall, and what the price action tells me. So far, I'm all out of Apple. As you guys know, I sold basically everything. I'm taking a very risk-off approach at the moment. But the levels I'd watch for Apple is I'd watch for a push back down to 187.45. We rejected the 194 and barely touched the 197 level more than 196. And what I'm expecting is possible consolidation, maybe a push to 190, 187.45, but I think you're going to stay consolidating between 187.45 to 194 until you break that range, specifically until you break all-time highs. I would stay away from Apple. I believe that it's going to be very volatile. Microsoft, what I'm going to be watching on Microsoft is going to be to see how earnings end up play now. I believe that's Wednesday. 30th, that is Tuesday, I think. Yeah. So Tuesday, we're going to have Microsoft earnings. What I'm going to be watching on Microsoft, if we end up selling off, I'm going to watch 384 and 366. If we push higher, watch 410, 420, and possibly even higher. But if we come back down to 366, 78, hold above that. I will be looking to get into Microsoft, possibly NVIDIA. I sold my position completely. What I don't like about NVIDIA at the moment, very good stock. I made a nice trade on them. If you guys watch any of my previous videos, you would know that I bought right down here at 520, sold it for, I think I sold it like right here at 613, I believe, 614. I believe that's where my fill was. But I'm all out of there. I do not like that we have heavy volume on these sell side candles. Momentum is starting to die off in NVIDIA, and I'm expecting a pullback, especially with FOMC and big tech earnings next week. I'm not looking to be in any major positions at the moment. Meta, not doing all that bad. Let's see here. We have earnings on the 1st, which is, I believe, 2 weeks out, isn't it? Let's just see. No, that's this week. So we have earnings on Thursday on Meta. Again, I would watch Meta to push to 400, 415 if earnings go well. If they do not, I'm expecting a push back down to possibly 353.83. If we do that, then I would expect a bounce there, or to 342.92 if the selling really gets severe. I doubt we'll move that far down, but you never know, really. Tesla, I'm looking to possibly get into Tesla, but what I got to do is, I know the probabilities are not in my favor at the moment, considering the trend is down. So I'm being a little cautious on Tesla, but what I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for this 152.37 level to hold up. Last time that we hit it, we end up going up without hesitation to about 58% on the upside. So what I'm going to be looking for is if we get a similar, let's just say hypothetically, I know it's not going to be the same exact, but hypothetically, let's just say it was. What I would do is I'd put my stop to a very small position, put my stop on the other side of 152.37. I might enter on the daily if it holds up. Let's just say I entered right here. What I would do is I would put my stop at about 5.31%, maybe 6. If I did it over 5%, I would have to decrease the position size and try to target that upper hand. I would target maybe, I don't know, 208. Google, I believe we got earnings this week as well. We have earnings on the 30th. So let's just say hypothetically that Google continues to rally up. Earnings are great. Guidance is great. I'd watch 160 on Google. If earnings go bad, we break to the downside, I'd watch 141.42. I think that's going to be the most likely level where you're going to bounce. If we get severe selling, then watch 127.90. I'd call that 128. And then we got Amazon. Do we have earnings this week? Let's see. We have it on the 1st, so we do have earnings this week on Amazon. Kind of the same deal. If earnings go well, then I would watch for a move up to 164, 168. If they go bad, I'd watch a move back down to 149 and 142. NASDAQ, let's see how we're looking. Not too bad. If big tech misses, I'd watch for a move back down to 14.5 or 15,000. If everything ends up looking good, you possibly could get a push up to 16,000 on the NASDAQ. And then on the S&P, I believe that, in my opinion, if earnings go well, you could push 5,000 or higher. But if earnings go bad, then I would watch 4,800 and 4,700. Below 4,700, then you can get very bearish, especially if you broke 4,600. But that's what I'm going to be watching, at least on the S&P. And stocks are setting up. Let's see what we got here. So the stocks I'm really watching, or no, we'll just stocks in play. So Intel. Intel's game very interesting. Earnings, did they end up missing? I don't know what they did. All right. So they end up beating earnings, but they probably gave bad guidance or something is my guess. I'm watching this demand zone right here. My plan is if buyers can show that they're holding it up, I like the heavy volume, but I believe that's just because of earnings. I don't think it's really necessarily showing that institutions are buying it. I'm waiting to see if this demand zone holds up this week. If it does, I'll look into get onto it on Thursday or Friday based on the weekly chart. I'll put my stop probably for 5.37%. I'll target about a 17% gain or a 12%, depending on the price action at those levels. ASML, I believe we reported earnings already. We did, okay. So what I'm watching here is I'm watching for an all-time high break. You break above that 868.82 level. We got to break above it technically on Friday, but it's just too close in my opinion. I like the volume, but we need some more commitment. If we get above 896, then I'll look to get into them, especially if the volume keeps up. Northrop Grumman, what I'm going to be watching on them is push into this demand zone. As you can see, for multiple years, 200 EMA and SMA has been generally respected. I'm watching for a move back down to there. You get into this, where I'm going to be looking to put a stop is on the other side of them. So that way my stop is greatly protected. Upside potential, I'm going to be looking to do a 9 to, at least I want to try to get is at least a 10. So at least it's 2R. But it depends on how the price action plays out on them, to be honest. So I'll update you guys on that one. GATX possibly could be setting up. If you break above 133, things could get interesting. United Healthcare, we're bouncing out of this demand zone. I'm not really looking to get into it yet. Personally, what I'm going to be looking for, I believe the probabilities will be a lot higher if we can push above 552. Push above 552, then I believe they can get a huge explosion to the upside. Tesla, I already went over that. And then LEN, I'm looking for this base to get broken above 156. I'll be getting into them, but that's what I'm going to be watching next week.